Hey friends, Cowboy Jobu here with the Jobu Sports Report. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Man, we're about to hit 7,000 and I can't thank you guys enough. Well, it's Tony Romo, all talk, every day, 24/7. So let's go to the Stephen A. Smith on First Take and see what they have to say about the Tony Romo, Jerry Jones saga.
Time to keep up with the Joneses. Jerry Jones was quick to shoot down the rumored three-way deal, which would send quarterback Tony Romo to Washington. And even though he doesn't have a way to enforce it, he trusts his longtime quarterback to not sign with a division rival, even if he's released. Jerry saying this: "It is implied that we will work in the best way we can for the mutual interest of Tony and the Cowboys." That's important here. Now we've got to abide by every league rule. We can't have agreements without it being within the boundaries of the NFL. But when you got a situation like we do, we'll do the do-right rule. That's it. Very important. We do the do-right rule. We'll have that kind of relationship. So now there's a do-right rule, Will Kane.
That's right.
Good to see you. You have a good weekend?
I did. I had a great weekend. Thank you.
All right. Well, we're going to keep it great, and we're going to stick with your Cowboys here. Do you like how Jerry's handling this?
I do. I mean, I think it's virtually genius. I think Jerry Jones...
Genius?
Yeah, I think Jerry Jones gets a very bad rap. He doesn't get near enough attention for how he manages this team, especially over the last several years. I know Max likes to give all credit to Stephen Jones, who deserves a ton of credit, but let's not forget who's at the top, where the buck stops, and it stops with Jerry. And in this particular situation, the Tony Romo situation, I think he's hitting it right down the middle of the fairway. Let me tell you, as a Cowboy fan, there's this rumor over the last couple of days of this three-way trade that could possibly, conceivably send Romo to Washington.
That's a joke.
It's a nonsense joke, right? But it's one of the worst scenarios as a Cowboys fan you can imagine. Maybe going to Philadelphia is worse, but there's another scenario that's slightly worse than Romo being traded to the Redskins. And that is Romo being released and electing to go to the Redskins with no compensation for the Cowboys. So what I think the Cowboys, and more specifically Romo's team, is doing, this is probably coming from Romo's agents, is just chumming the waters. Let's see what kind of market is out there for Tony Romo. Let's see if there's a trade value. Denver, reportedly, according to Mike Fisher, Dallas area reporter, says Denver's really interested in Romo, should he become free. So Dallas is just trying to find, is there a trade market in this last week before March 9th, before we have to release Romo to the world? And if that happens, I think the do-right rule is exactly right. I think the relationship those two men have means you can say, look, man, don't go to Washington. Tony, you're not going to do that to us, right? And Tony's going to say, I'm not going to do that. Will you please release me, though, and let me go where I want instead of trading me someplace that I don't want to be? The do-right rule is perfect. Jerry handling it perfectly.
Go ahead.
I agree with Will. I think you're right about this, and I've been saying all along, look, let's start with what the Dallas Cowboys needed to start the season last year. They needed a backup quarterback. They thought they drafted one who would also be their quarterback for the future. As it turns out, Romo is so injury-prone he couldn't stay on the field, which most could have told you. And Dak took over, and not took over, but looked like the real deal from preseason right through his almost comeback in the playoffs. He is the real deal. So now in the line item that says quarterback for the Cowboys, they have the same money budgeted. They can afford their starter and their backup, which they would have had to do anyway. It's just the identities have been switched, and it's confusing people. I understand Cowboys fans getting greedy at this point. Well, if we got our starter, why spend all that money on the backup? Why? Because it's a violent sport, and your starter can get hurt. And it also preserves Tony Romo, who, for those who think he's still better than Dak Prescott, well, okay, you can actually make an argument he is. And then you'd have a healthy Tony Romo who's been rested and yet getting reps with the team. I mean, it's an ideal situation at quarterback. Now, do I like the way Jerry Jones is handling this? Could you write Jerry Jones any better? The Arkansas twang coming off as a country hustler, huge ego, owner of the Dallas Cowboys, doing all this stuff. I love it. We're in the sports media business. He's good for business. And in this case,
Good at business.
he's good at business. He's right.
You finished?
For now.
First of all, you should be ashamed of yourself, being a native New Yorker with the drivel you just threw out there. I'm beginning to like you less and less.
Don't pretend like that was possible.
You two are something else. I can't believe y'all are not picking up on this. This is disgraceful. This is absolutely disgraceful on the part of Jerry Jones. And I'm going to tell you why. Because every living thing he does says one thing and one thing only: boy, I wish I had Tony
Yeah.
Romo. I could keep him because I really don't want Dak Prescott. I don't care that he threw for 3,667 yards. I don't care that he only threw 4 interceptions the entire season. I don't care that he completed 68% of his passes. I don't care that he made us relevant. I don't care that he was 13-3. I don't care that this brother right here has solidified my future at the most important position on a football field, possibly for the next decade and beyond. None of that matters. I'm sure it doesn't matter to Will Kane. I'm sure it doesn't matter back then. It don't matter to you when Tony Romo's home with his children sitting there with the rocket chair watching those Cowboy games in 2 years. But it doesn't matter to you now because you, the Cowboy fan, you're disgusted stuff. And you Benedict Arnold, New
What
Yorker.
are you talking
you
about?
people, y'all are unbelievable to me. How do you let Jerry Jones off the hook? Now listen, I know. Let me be very clear. I know how great Jerry Jones is as a marketer. I know that he's a great businessman. I'm not refuting any of that. My hatred for the Cowboys are only because of their fans, people like you. It's not because of the team and Jerry Jones. But having said all of that, how do y'all not see this? How do we sit here and recognize and rave about the youthful greatness of Dak Prescott, but we don't see how much of a disservice Jerry Jones is doing? Every time he's acting like, oh my goodness, I can't let Tony Romo just go to Washington. Oh no, that can never happen, could it? Because, oh my God, what will we do? He could hurt us. Excuse me, if Dak Prescott's the man, what the hell are you worried about Tony Romo?
Would you trade inside your division? You just brought this up the other day about the Celtics and the Knicks trading. I think it was.
Because of the Knicks! How you gonna use the comparison? Anybody can hurt the Knicks. I can hurt the Knicks if I didn't have a bad knee.
It's still a move within the division.
I'm just saying this.
Twice a year you gotta do it.
I didn't say it because it was in the division. I said it's because of the Knicks.
believe you
If
said
you're
it
the
in the
Cowboys
division.
and you got Prescott, he's a stud. Ezekiel Elliott is a stud. You in the offensive line are studs. Dez Bryant is a stud. I mean, why are you worried about where Tony Romo goes? Why, Will? Why?
Because he's a
I'm with
stud.
Stephen A
Because
here.
he's a stud.
You're with Stephen A?
I am.
I honestly don't have any idea how you arrived there by any logical path.
How? How'd you do
I'm
that?
sitting here
Well,
before
Tony
you.
Romo has no
I'm
other
sitting
options
here.
but to go to the
I'm
Redskins, and
sitting
I
here
want to play. I'm going to go to the Redskins.
I say
There's
spot
no
Keller.
friends in this
The
game.
spot
I-
Kane work. Is that true? Do I need more
Literally-
syllables? The spot Kane work. The logic. My logic is
I
undeniable.
don't
Is that
get
what
how
this
Jerry's
is?
genius by the
I
do
am
right rule.
trying to work my way through all of that histrionics to find a cogent point that you made
Well, that's a-
over the last 3 minutes.
I can't believe it. Then I would have
Not
to
a
question your
single
intelligence, which I
thing
thought I would never do.
that came out of your
How
mouth
could you not?
is
Really?
rebuttable because there was no position.
Yes, there was a position.
He is
Yes, there was a
not
position.
undercutting Dak Prescott. He has not compromised Dak Prescott by suggesting he would rather Tony Romo not go to Washington.
Because he knows I'm right. You know I'm right. You're trying to fight it.
There is no
You're
rational thing to
Clearly,
do
he's
but to
concerned-
smirk
he's
at what you
concerned
just
about
did.
Dak
He's struggling
Prescott
with this.
going against Tony
I have a
Romo.
question-
That's
I have
what
a
he's
question
saying.
for you, Stephen
Because
A.
Dak is your quarterback.
You-
That's why you're struggling with
Wait,
it.
I have a
got him.
I have a
Two
question,
times.
Molly, I have a question
Go
for
ahead.
Stephen A.
Go ahead.
Of course, Dak is a stud. Ezekiel Elliott is a stud.
Sure.
The offensive line it's an amazing offensive
Sure.
line. Now, I wouldn't plan a season around Romo, which is why I like him as a backup.
I got you.
But Romo, when he's on the field, is a stud too. That's why Washington wants him, or anyone looking for a quarterback would want him.
Excuse me. What I'm
So you feel
trying
like
to
Dak
say,
can't
all I'm trying to say to you is
Dak
this:
can't handle him.
the great ones don't worry about what
No
the
one.
other
Yeah.
dudes are doing.
No
They
one.
worry
Listen
about
to
what
me.
this.
Yeah.
Is that not? Hold on. That's coming.
Not
Am I
in the
right?
division.
Am
You
I
don't
right
want
about
him
that?
in the
Am I
division.
right about that? Oh, so
You
you
are
compromise
right
your
about
rules.
that. You don't
Great
worry
ones
about the
worry about
competition.
themselves.
No one.
See, I don't worry about nobody else because I'm me, baby. That's all that matters. If you're Dak Prescott and you're the Dallas Cowboys, you're Jerry Jones, you got this crew. Why are you worried
I
about
might
Tony Romo?
suggest you begin to worry about other people because in scenarios like the one we're having today, you are not living up to your side of the bargain on this debate.
Yes, I am.
You may have found the way to beat me
please.
with setting off fireworks and nonsense for 5
You
minutes.
are
straight.
consistent.
But I don't know.
But Stephen A is consistent. You traded me to the same division. I mean, and you take it every day. You take those L's. It's
Whatever you
unbelievable.
say.
A lot of
I'm still
confidence.
waiting to lose a debate to y'all. I'm still waiting. I'm trying to be damn. It's been a long time. Can I lose once?
All right.
about 15
We
seconds.
got more. We
Debate's
got
been
more
over
from
15
Jerry,
seconds.
who said.